The leader of the most populous party, the Conservative Party in UK, Kemi Badenoch, has replied the Vice President of Nigeria, and that have left the Vice President in very serious shock, panic, and tears. She never expected such coming from Kemi. Now, this bombshell have left the Vice President devastated because she has told him to his face that she, as a Yoruba, has nothing to do with the North, the Boko Haram. Describing Boko Haram and the North as the project of an average Northerner, that she has nothing in common with the North or the Boko Haram. Of course, she identified with her Yoruba race, her people, and this is just the case that the vice president has no right to decide who she is or who she identifies with. That the North has become a safe haven for Boko Haram. There is no similarity by her exposure, by her education, by her antecedents and position in the world, will always speak the truth regardless of whatever happens. As the leader of the most populous party, most celebrated party, the Conservative Party in UK, having achieved and attained such great heights, born on the 2nd of January 1980, 44 years, have attained such level of unimaginable success, which none of the northern ladies could be given such opportunity, even in Nigeria. She has nothing in common with Nigeria. She identifies more with her Yoruba nation than the entire Nigeria as a whole. What does that mean? That regardless of the deception that some people propagate, promotes that we are Nigeria, when you travel abroad, you hardly could see the so-called Nigerians gathering together to have meetings on monthly basis. You will see the Yorubas having their meeting, Oduwa meeting, Yoruba meeting, Igbo meetings, and the Yoruba meetings, the Bini people will gather to have their meeting because they identify their own cultural heritage, their identity as a people. The white calls any black because they decide so. The white calls them Nigeria because they decide, but they knew very well where they come from and who they are. He said that she was a Yoruba man, a Yoruba lady before even the white came. So just as Chimamanda said, the whites will call me a black because they feel so. They may call me a Nigeria because they feel so. But I am an Igbo man even before the white came. You know what that means? The issue of identity cannot be subject to controversy as the North continue to propagate this erroneous agenda about people's identity. You can't sweep it under the carpet for whatever reasons you want to achieve, hiding under the cover of one Nigeria. Femi, who has been outspoken, embittered by the atrocity, by the wickedness, by the subjugation, corruption endemic in Nigeria, has been outspoken, especially in most recent time. And engaging Femi is the Kashim Shettima of the Vice President of Nigeria, demanding that Femi should delete the Kemi in her name. That is an insult of the highest order. Of course, responding to that, this is what Kemi have to bombshell the vice president, bringing him to his senses that she cannot identify with the people or region where he comes from. The Boko Haram is endemic. People understood what played out, the Chibok girls and the rest of them. that they don't share any common ideology, no common affiliations, no common cultural, religious affiliations or values shared between her, being a Yoruba person, and the North, where Chetima Kashim, the vice president, comes from. Kemi Badenoch, leader of the UK Conservative Party, has again taken a dig at Nigeria's vice president, Kashim Shettima, in her recent interview, saying she identifies as Yoruba and has nothing in common with the country's northern part, being that even the Yorubas at large has nothing in common. Though some may say they have religion in common, Islamic religion, but the way the Yorubas practice their own religion is not the same way the North. The extremism, the fanatical approach is not unique, it's not does not go down with an average Yoruba man or woman. Well, this statement coming from the Vice President Shettima recently slammed Badenoch for uh, the okay denigrating Nigeria in her recent interview. Well, everybody has the right to his or her own opinion or expression of thought, just as Nigeria, a constitution allows or protect our people's right to have their opinion and, of course, fundamental right of expression, and which did not go down with the vice president. However, whatever be the case, she said that on immigration and corruption by the Nigerian public officers, urging her to drop her Nigerian name. You can't just urge her. You have no right under any law, under any circumstances, to urge a woman of great honor, of great report, that have accomplished great feat, to drop her own identity, regardless of the fact that she is in UK, celebrated, accomplished. She still understood that her roots is the Yoruba race. She cannot deny her roots. She can't lose her identity. If you are forcing that on her, of course, she have responded that she has nothing in common. You better understand that I, as a Yoruba man, a Yoruba woman, has nothing in common with the North. Boko Haram, where the Boko Haram has become, the North has become a safe haven for Boko Haram. I think that was the deadliest blow. And I believe that the vice president must be in very big shock, panic, and baffled by that dexterity, by that courage to speak out the truth. People knows the truth that no matter how they say we are one Nigeria, in action and indeed in reality, that is quite far from the truth. And you can't deny it. It's just a matter of time. People cannot deny their identity or sacrifice their identity in order to protect one Nigeria, even when things are not getting the way it should. You can identify with failure, identify with things stuck in the wheel of motionless and despair. This is her response. And of course, you wouldn't have to blame her. You should not blame her in at any opportunity. While her spokesperson has responded to the criticism from the Shettima, Badenoch sparked fresh identity controversy while speaking with British media. The Spectator recently, you see, this is British media addressing the world of her own position regarding what is happening in Nigeria. Don't call me a Nigeria. I am not. I have nothing in common with the northern Nigeria. If you think that we are common, no matter how we have been forced to become one by the British conglomerate or whatever business interest, we are not one. I am a Yoruba and identify with my people. I have nothing in common, so don't attack me with the North. I am not. You may call me in Nigeria. You say, as a whole, I have nothing in common. Identify more with the Yoruba nation where I am, I come from, I hail from, and my own origin. Well, that is very a good one from her. According to her, northern Nigeria is a heaven for Islamism and Boko Haram. That is to say that the entire world know what is happening in Nigeria. No matter how you cover up, no matter how you pretend, no matter how you maneuver, you manipulate things, they knew what exactly Nigeria is and what Nigeria represents. It doesn't matter. You can continue to live in denial. You see, according to her, northern Nigeria is a heaven for Islam, Islamism and Boko Haram. She expressed dismay at how she's been identified as Nigerian, noting that she identified less with the country. Do you get it? She expressed so much dismay, disappointment. How can you identify me as a Nigerian? Where the Boko Haram, where Boko Haram terrorism, Islamization agenda is the order of the day, where people could not express themselves, where churches and the innocent people are being rounded up and killed. God forbid I distance myself from this Nigeria agenda or whatever you think. I am not, and you can't force me to be. This is just the same thing, controversy, identity controversy that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been talking about, that you can't force a people to be who they are not. Yes, you can't force them to be Nigeria where they are not because of the vested interests you want to protect. Femi has come to speak the minds of majority of the Yorubas. That is the position and what they stood for. Regardless of the few among them who are just beneficiary of this flawed system, they will want to take on the advantage of that because most of them, even the president, the current president, have said she do not believe in one Nigeria, which means she shared the same position, the same ideology with the Femi, the leader of the most populous party, the Conservative Party. Tinubu 30 years ago said he did not believe in one Nigeria, which means Kemi Badenoch was actually right that as a Yoruba lady, as a Yoruba man, they have nothing in common with the North and by extension Nigeria. So she expressed so much dissatisfaction, dismay, means she is embittered, frustrated to have identified her as with Nigeria. That that is not the case. Calling Nigeria or the northern part of Nigeria as a heaven, a place where Boko Haram Islamism strives, is being encouraged, is being sponsored by the instruments of the state, by the political class and northern elites. You can't identify me with a people who are perhaps backward, who don't want liberal uh, thinking, who don't want rationalism, who don't want Western education, who don't want development for their own people. So I am not part of that. And Shettima should get the message very loud and clear, as some persons at some time has accused him of being masterminding Boko Haram. The Chibok girls and all that. There are some pally between him taking pictures with some groups of Boko Haram or the insurgency for whatever reason. Some are speculating that that could be a way of encouraging them or striking a deal with them, whatever happens. That is the knot, and that is the position of Femi. It is quite interesting and very uh, disturbing, and that is just the people. You see, somebody once told me when I was very young that my surname was a name for people who were warriors. Okay, they protected the crown, and that is what I see myself as doing. I am here to protect, and I will die protecting